Often when people talk about how they feel about a variety of speech, they'll touch on the idea of correctness. They might feel that certain words or sounds are wrong or are in some way inappropriate. In doing so, they're comparing that variety with one that they consider correct. Languages typically have a standard variety, the kind of language that carries prestige in society. The standard language variety is often taught in schools and used to write formal publications like newspaper articles or other kinds of non-fiction. Taking the English language as an example, even in a relatively small country like the United Kingdom, there's a huge amount of linguistic variation, much of which would not be considered as standard. In fact, most people who speak English around the world don't necessarily speak with what would be called a standard English accent or dialect. Varieties of a language that deviate from the standard, or rather users of that variety, can sometimes become associated with negative traits. For example, as we'll see in week 4, there's research that links certain British accents with the perception of committing criminal behaviour. Of course, there's nothing intrinsically criminal about the particular sounds or words that occur in these varieties, which tells us that attitudes like these towards language are arbitrary. In other words, there's no real connection between, say, a speech sound and a concept such as criminality. In a similar vein, people often have very positive attitudes towards standard varieties, for example associating them as sounding intelligent or authoritative, even though there's nothing intrinsically intelligent or authoritative about the language variety itself. These attitudes are formed by making a link between linguistic features and more abstract social traits. The association listeners make between a particular accent and a positive or negative trait can be a reflection of the listener's own attitude toward the people who speak with that accent, and can lead to bias towards or against particular groups of speakers, as we'll explore further in week 4.